Hello, my name is Kiwi. I'm 20 years old and I came to Ukraine from Wellington, New Zealand. I decided to come to fight alongside Ukraine because after seeing all over the news and on the internet about the terrible suffering that the invaders are inflicting here, I knew I couldn't just sit by and, let it happen. I wanted to be a part of the fight against that sort of tyranny. So that's why I decided to come to Ukraine, and it's the best thing I've ever done. I've always said that my friends are my family, so it was mostly their reaction I was worried about. And they've been the most wonderful, supportive people in the world. They've sent me packages from back home. They've been just immensely wonderful and supportive. Of course they worry about me. I don't like to worry them, but they understand that I'm fighting the good fight here. And yes, it's they're absolutely wonderful people. The very first night I arrived here, it was 4 AM. I stepped off the train and there was an air raid siren going off outside, so you could say it was certainly a very jarring welcome, but I've settled in quite well. It was a wonderful first impression, being able to see everything in this wonderful country, and it's just a shame what is happening with the invasion, and that's why I came here, get rid of the invaders, and then my plan would be I would quite like to live here after the war. It's such a wonderful country and I've been left with such a wonderful impression. The people are amazing, the country is amazing. It's just a very wonderful impression. Nope. Unless you count video games, but otherwise no. I think primarily the main challenge can be the language, but of course my squad mates in the army are always more than happy to teach me. My wonderful girlfriend is also a very good helper for me, and Duolingo as well. So other than that, no challenges at all. Everyone has been so wonderful and accepting and just welcoming me with open arms, truly. It's like everyone in Ukraine has just become one big family for me. I know a bit of Ukrainian and I'm learning a bit more, and of course they know a bit of English, so it's like we're teaching each other. Other than that, Google Translate also does a bit of heavy lifting, but beyond that I think we've got a certain understanding of each other, so even if we can't always speak the same language, we sort of know to each other what we're saying, if that makes sense. That is a wonderful question. I have a lot of things to fight for. My friends back home, I've always said to them that whenever they worry about me, I say to them, I fight here so that they don't have to fight. It's better to fight the invaders here than perhaps closer to home. I fight as well for my wonderful girlfriend in Kiev. I worry about her a lot. When she messages me saying, the bombs are raining down, and it just gives me a whole lot of motivation to fight against the invaders that are sending those bombs. And every time I meet a Ukrainian that is just so wonderful and welcoming to me with open arms, like I've said, and just seeing the incredible bravery and resilience of every single Ukrainian here is what gives me the motivation and the will to fight on every single day. I think the world should keep its eyes open to the suffering that the invaders are inflicting upon Ukraine. I think the world should band together to give Ukraine every single bit of support that it needs to push the invaders out. Every single bit of support that Ukraine receives, we are all infinitely grateful for. And the sooner that we can push the invaders out, the sooner we can stop the terror and suffering that's happening. Every single day that I'm in Ukraine, my view of the country just becomes more and more positive. As I've said, everyone here is super welcoming, super helpful. Sometimes I almost feel guilty for how welcoming everyone is. It's like, I'm not really sure how to explain it. It's almost like I've never been so wonderfully treated by just such an entire community before, and it is truly a wonderful, wonderful feeling. Like I said, every single day I'm here, my view of the country just becomes more and more positive, and I would really quite like to build a life here after the war. That's just the profound impact that living and being in Ukraine has left on me. It's a wonderful question. Like I said, it was certainly a very interesting memory the first time I arrived and hearing the air raid sirens go off. But I prefer to think of the good things more so than the bad things, if that makes sense. Because for as horrible as a lot of things that have happened here, there are also a lot of good things. The people have been so wonderful. Everyone here is so resilient that despite what the invaders have done, they are still so welcoming and so wonderful. I guess there's just so much to say really. I mean, I've just been left with such an impact seeing the resilience and the willpower of everyone here in Ukraine. It really just builds together, and that's why the invaders will never win, because with all their tanks and their planes and their bombs and everything, they will never be able to overcome Ukraine's greatest weapon, which is our spirit. I stand with Ukraine. Join us.